Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We are continuing our Vampire Alone in the Darkness. Hola to all my Brazilian friends. Before we begin, please take a moment to like and subscribe. Would really appreciate that. I'm trying to get 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. If you can help for that, would really appreciate it. Now, we are now at night 4 of Leslie Vincent's vampiric life. In the last episode, oops, I just hit the camera, didn't I? That wasn't very clever. In the last episode, we had an event at the art museum in this hex here, OC2, Old City 2, and it happened that the museum is owned by the elder vampire that I saved on the second night. So again, thinking in terms of story and how things are working and everything, I basically thought, well, that night was Halloween, so I could freely mingle. Everyone would think I'm in some amazing costume. But I did so that basically he says he owes me. So I have an elder vampire who basically owes me a favor, which is going to be extremely useful. But from the first night, we also have a bloody veteran hunter hanging around here when I first met him. I don't know where he is at the moment, but the story is evolving and my vampire is kind of evolving. Right, so let's get on with night 4. So we are now at the 1st of November. It is a Tuesday night. We have our 3 XP from the previous nights. Also, I get 1 point back of will because we rested. So I now have 5 points of will. Again, will, you can use points of will to re-roll dice, but you only regain 1 point per rest. So per day, basically. I used a lot to try and convince this elder vampire to not commit suicide. I think that was on the second night. But I think it was worth it because, like I say, now I have this elder vampire contact who owns an art museum in this area here who kind of owes me a favor. And that could be really useful, especially if I have to do some kind of investigation regarding sort of the arts. Yeah, this guy could actually be very useful in terms of his knowledge. But let us continue with our campaign. We are now at night number 4. And what are we going to do? Well, first of all, we need to get to the right page. 1 second, let's get to the right page. Where is it? Come on. Scenarios. Here we go. So, sequence of play is fairly simple. You basically travel to a hex where you want to, adventure or work or do sort of actions and stuff. You choose an action in that hex. Things like hunting for prey, buying things, searching for things. And you will then roll an event and then you will do any further actions. So, where are we going to go on this fine evening? Now it's the 1st of November. I keep hitting this camera, I do apologise. Where do I want to go? Well, this is where I met the vampire hunter in the first night. This is where the art museum is with that elder vampire. I don't need him yet. I don't really want to go here just in case the event says you meet an old foe or something. Again, I haven't read through all the events. I haven't looked through all the tables. I'd like to keep some surprises. Now I've been to here. I think I've been there. I think I've been there. I've been here also hunting for prey. Now this is actually going to be the last night where I don't need to feed, because on the first night I found my favorite prey, and that keeps me going for I think 4 days or 4 nights. So this is going to be the last night where I don't have to worry about feeding. In the next episode, in the next night, then yes, I'm going to have to hunt again. So where do I want to go? Maybe let's try somewhere a bit different. We've done a couple of old city or old town. We've been into the new town. let's maybe try the industrial area and see what happens. Now, what do I want to do when I get there? What do I want to do? Search for a new haven, earn some money, get a servant. I mean, I tried getting a servant in the last episode when I went to the art museum, when I went to that, the new collection, the event. I was kind of interested in maybe finding another servant amongst all those well-to-doers and rich people. But it didn't work out. I failed the role by one, of course. If I go to the industrial district here, or maybe up here, maybe I can find maybe somebody a bit more technical. I have one servant. I managed to find one servant, Leon Cook. He's a physician. So, I mean, a physician would be useful for certain things. I mean, an engineer or a mechanic could also be useful for other things. If I have to do some kind of investigation regarding something mechanical, electrical, and maybe somebody technically minded could help me. So I think, I don't honestly know if that's the way the game works, but that's how I'm thinking, because as a solo RPG, you have to make a lot of decisions. You have to make a lot of kind of, have to create the story yourself a lot of the time. So I think that's what I'll do. I think I'll travel down. Let's travel down to here. So this is ID5, Industrial District 5. So we will travel, again with my nice little vampire model, we'll move down to here. So we're traveling, 2 hexes by motorcycles, that's 1 hour. So we're going to ID5. So that takes me 1 hour. So we are now at 8 o'clock. Now the action, I think I'm going to try and find another servant. Now for me, it's not going to be easy because interacting with people isn't the ghoul's strong point. So let's try anyway. We're going to try and find another servant or another ally. So we're going to find another servant. Now, like I say, I'm hoping to try and find somebody sort of mechanical in nature. For the other servant, I basically used a table online, like a random occupation table, and it came up physician. So maybe I'll do the same thing for this, but maybe, I don't know, maybe give myself a little kind of, a little kind of slant towards the technical field because I'm in an industrial area. So let's try and find a servant. Now, finding a servant's not easy. You've got to do 2 different roles. First, you've got to do a mind investigation test to find somebody suitable. And then we have to do a spirit manipulation test, of which I will have a disadvantage in order to get them to be my friend or be my servant. So let us try the mind investigation test first. So our mind is 4. We do not have investigation. So we're only getting a +4 to the roll. So we get a 5 + 4 is 9. So that's a failure because we need a 10+. I could spend a point of will to re-roll it, but I'm always kind of worried because the next roll is at a disadvantage, so I'll be taking the lower value from 2 dice. Is it worth using a point of will on this? I've only got 5 left. I need a 6 or higher, don't I? Yeah, what the hell. Let's use a point of will. So we're going to re-roll. We need a 6 or higher. You son of a bitch. We fail. Okay. I'm not going to waste any more will on this. All right. So we basically fail to find a servant. We don't find anybody suitable. Damn it. That's not a good start to the night. Right now, we have to roll for the event. Because after your first action, you have to roll an event. Now, we are in the Industrial District. So we're going to be rolling on the Industrial District table, which we haven't done before. So this is going to be all something new. Right. 2d10, white first. We get a 1 and a 1. Right, 1 and a 1. Okay. You learn that something important is happening in an adjacent sector. Roll an important event on table 16. Okay, now important events, when it tells you to roll an important event, this is going to be a multi-level event. In other words, to succeed in it, you have to go through a series of tasks, challenges, requirements, until you get to the sort of end result. So it's in an adjacent sector. Now, should I roll first? Or should I roll which sector first? Let's have a look. Okay. Yeah, I need to know where it is for me to actually do the rolling. So it's in an adjacent sector. Okay, so it's going to be the harbour, industrial district, old town, or harbour. Okay, so what should we roll? Should we roll a d10? Let's roll. Oops. Let's roll a d6. On a 5 or 6, I'll re-roll. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. 4. It's in this harbour here. Ooh, okay. So just give me 1 second and I'll just quickly journal this down and write it down in my journal. Okay, so I just noted down what's happening. So an important event is happening and it's in this hex here, this area here. That's what we rolled. Right, so now we go to table 16 and we will roll up the event. Okay. Okay, so basically, with important events, you roll up, you draw a plot, you kind of roll up a plot on this table here, which kind of tells you what's happening. There'll be a threat, a want, and then what will happen. And basically, you're going to have to go through a series of encounters or challenges until we find the main threat and until things are happening, yeah? So once this is over, no matter how it happens, you are victorious and will receive 1 experience point per place visited. So, yeah. So basically, you have to do a number of different challenges until you find the main threat. You'll see here, there's a number of places that actually say you find the main threat, you find the main threat, you find the main threat. When that happens, this event kind of finishes. If it doesn't happen, then you can basically visit up to 4 locations. And if you don't find the main threat in the 4th location, then the 5th location will automatically be the main threat. And then you've got to do what you got to do. I could just ignore it. Let's find out what's happening first. So we have our plot here in terms of what's happening. And then we can find out what is the first barrier, the first location and challenge that we have to face. Right, so let's roll up the plot. What is happening in this harbour, in H1, this harbour? Right, so we're going to be rolling a d10 4 times to create the plot. First of all, we're trying to find out what is the threat. So we're rolling d10, we get a 10. What is it with elder vampires in this town? Oh God, please, it's not Isaac again, is it? Oh, okay. All right, so we get, we rolled a 10, elder vampire. And what do they want? So next we roll, whoops, let's roll that again. We get a 1. To destroy, oh God. Okay, what does he want to destroy? 8. Another vampire. That will 6. Bring danger. This could be Isaac. I mean, he may have found out about another vampire who's basically a threat. So An elder vampire wants to destroy a vampire that will bring danger. So yeah, like, I'm thinking that, again, let's ask the Oracle just to kind of confirm. Is this Isaac? Is this Isaac that's being involved in 4? No, it's not Isaac. It's not Isaac, it's another Isaac. Perez, isn't it? Isaac Perez? Gotta remember his name. Perez. So it's another elder vampire. Okay, well let's try it, shall we? Now, do I have to do this now, or can I do it over multiple nights? I think it has to be done now. Okay, so this episode might be a little bit longer, because this event's gonna be a bit longer. Right, so the first part, we need to, excuse me, all right, so we have to roll here to determine where it's taking place. Then we have to roll here to find out what's happening and what I have to overcome. And then if it says confrontations, I have to roll here. Okay, so event 1. So event part 1, we are in, I mean, we should go there, shouldn't we? So yeah, I think we have to go there, I think. So that'll be half an hour. So this is going to be at 12:30, because it was 12. It was midnight by the time I finished looking for a servant and the event happened. So it takes me half an hour to move to H1 because it's only 1 hex away. So event part 1 is going to take place at 12:30 at night. And we are in a harbour area. So we're rolling to find out exactly where. We get a 7 in a depot. Okay. And what is the challenge that we are going to face? So we're going to be rolling 2d10 for 2 results. So again, white first. A 9 and a 9. That kind of goes with the 1 and 1 we had earlier. So we get into a confrontation. So now we have to roll on this table here. Oh no, this is the threat, isn't it? This is the threat. And then accordingly, what is the... So in that case, should I be attacking the elder vampire because he's the threat? Yeah, I think I have to be up against the elder vampire, in which case I don't think I'm going to do this. So let's change the wording here. An elder vampire wants to destroy a vampire and will bring danger to the town. Okay, so the other vampire is the guy that I want to save. The thing is, I can't take on an elder vampire. I'm just not able to kill an elder vampire. Yeah, that's the threat, isn't it? Yeah, so the threat is the elder vampire. This vampire is basically just something that is dealing with, but this is the threat himself. So, oh no, I can't take on an elder vampire. I mean, does it have to end in combat? I don't think it has to end in combat. We can try and stop it without combat, I think. In terms of combat with the elder vampire, if we can somehow protect the vampire or get the vampire to escape or something, or so that the elder vampire can't hurt him, that could actually thwart the plans. And if we keep it secret, he may not know it's me, so I may not get an enemy. Yeah, that kind of makes sense. Right, so I've got a confrontation. We're up against an elder vampire, so we're only rolling 1d10 to find out who. So let's roll a d10 to find out who we're up against. I want a 1 to 4. And of course we get an 8. We are up against 4 servants. Right, so we have to fight these or avoid them. 4 servants. Let's have a look and see how powerful servants are. Servants, health 9. Okay, they deal 4 points of damage. No, there's too many of them. There's no way I can deal with these guys. I mean, I'm doing +3 damage, but I've only got a body of 3, so I'm only doing 6 damage, which isn't enough to kill them. And there's 4 of them. I'm going to try to evade. Now I do have dark fusion where I can blend into shadows. That may help me to escape, so I think that would probably give me an advantage. But what would I use to actually escape or to avoid them? Because maybe they haven't seen me. So I'm thinking subterfuge maybe. Let's have a look. Stealth, hide, yeah. So I think it would be a subterfuge test. But which attribute would be used? I think it would be either body or mind. I don't think spirit would be the factor. I think it would be more a case of thinking where to hide rather than physically. So I think it would be mind. So I'm going to try a mind subterfuge test to try and evade these guys, because I can't take on 4 of them. If I could kill them in one blow, then possibly, but I can't even kill one. I can't, it's impossible. So I'm going to try to evade them. So it's going to be a test using mind and subterfuge. I don't have subterfuge, but I do have a mind of 4, so I'm getting +4 to the roll. Right, let's see if we can evade these bastards. I'm getting an advantage because I have dark fusion, which allows me to move in with the shadows. So I need a 6+. Okay, I'm going to use a point of will. I can re-roll 1 dice, I think, with 1 point of will. So we're re-rolling. Oh, re-roll that. Come on. No! Oh, crap. Oh, no. 2. I can't fight these guys. I have to evade. So I'm using another point of will. I think I just roll 1 dice, isn't it? Or do I roll both dice? It's an advantage, so I should get 2 dice. Okay, so I might not need to. Yes, I might not need to. Okay. I think using the will to re-roll, I'm not sure whether it's 1 dice or both dice. I think it should be both, because if I'm at a disadvantage, I should be rolling 2 dice again and taking the lowest. So I think that's how it works. So I think I would have actually rolled 2 dice when I'm paying that point of will. So I do evade the second attempt. All right, so I managed to avoid those idiots. Right, okay. Now, like I say, you can have up to 4 encounters before you meet the threat. But I mean, you can also find the threat during the thing. Right, so we go to the depot to try and get more information about what's going on. We've heard about this elder vampire who wants to destroy another vampire who's basically trying to prevent him from doing really bad things, maybe putting some kind of chemical into the water supply, maybe. So what we're going to have to do now is a second part to the event, part 2, and let's say that this takes another half an hour. An hour? Yeah, say it takes an hour. So it's now 1:30. So where is this next encounter? 1. Wharf's Edge. Now at the Wharf's Edge there may not be as much shadows. Ooh, okay. So what are we doing? So first we get an 8 and then we get a 3. A security camera can record you. Well, again, I'm just going to use dark fusion to avoid it, I think. So maybe there's some evidence of the chemical. Maybe it's in some barrels at the end of this wharf. But I'm going to have to make another check to avoid the security camera. as I'm kind of investigating the barrels. So I think I have to make another subterfuge test. But again, with an advantage because of dark fusion, I think. Yeah, advantage on subterfuge rolls. Okay, so again, I think I'm going to have to. It's a security camera. So again, I'm going to try to avoid the cameras. So again, mind. Subterfuge, spelling's terrible, but never mind. So again, we've got an advantage because of that dark fusion. I can kind of move him amongst the shadows. So I'm going to the end of the wharf where basically there are these barrels that I'm suspecting has this chemical that the elder vampire wants to basically introduce into the water system. So I've got to try and stop him. So again, I need a 6+. Oh shit. These dice will... Okay, succeed. So again, second time succeed. Right, so we managed to avoid the cameras and we get to the barrels. Now, do the barrels contain the chemical that I suspect? So we're rolling for the oracle to find out. So do the barrels contain the chemical that we think they're going to introduce? 9, yes. Okay, so my suspicions were correct. So we find out that the chemicals are in there. So I need to get rid of these barrels somehow. Let's find out. What can we do with these barrels? We could empty them into the ocean. We could tip off the police. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. So I'll tip off the police about the barrels, and that should take care of that problem. Okay, sweet, nice. But we still haven't met up with the bad guy. So we have third part of the event. So this would be at 02:30, and this is going to happen at 5. An old warehouse. Okay, we will have shadows here. A lot more shadows in the wharf. All right, so... Oh, actually, the wharf may not have had very good shadows. I think I said that. So maybe I would have had a disadvantage as well as the advantage. Got to remember that in future. Okay. So the old warehouse. So what's happening? 7. Oh, sorry, here. And 5. If you follow the trail, you'll know the way. What does that mean? If you follow the trail, you'll know the way. Huh? What does that mean? I don't get it. What am I supposed to do with that? Maybe we find some information, or we could find some information which could lead me to the boss. Okay, so it says, if you follow the trail, you'll know the way. Right, so there's a potential trail to the boss, to the main threat. But I'm going to have to figure out what it is if you follow the trail. So I think this would be a mind investigation check, I think. So find the trail would be a mind investigation check, because it says here, if you follow the trail, you'll know the way. So every step of these events, these important events, is something that you've got to succeed at. Otherwise, you know, the event kind of finishes and you fail to succeed. So if you follow the trail, you'll know the way. So yeah, I've basically got to try and find this trail, this link to who the elder vampire is, who the target is. So I need to do a mind investigation check. Now I've only got 2 points of will left. Ugh. So for this one, I've got a mind of 4. I do not have investigate, so I'm just getting a 4. I do not have an advantage for this, so I just need a 6+. And I do it. I succeed. I find the trail, which is going to lead me to the next part, which is the 4th part of the event. Now, if this is not the main threat, then the next one will be. So, for the 4th part of the investigation or the event, it's now 3:30 in the morning, and it's happening on a luxury yacht. So the trail basically leads me to this yacht. Maybe I found some shipping documents or some receipts, some ledgers that basically links those barrels with this yacht, or maybe it has the same signature. So now I need to investigate this luxury yacht. Okay, so what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen at the luxury yacht? We get a 7, which is here, and we get a 1. The main threat! Okay, we found the big guy. Now, how am I going to succeed here? Because it's an elder vampire. How am I going to thwart this guy without having to fight him? Because an elder vampire is a dangerous enemy, and there's no way that I can actually defeat him. Now, if he's on the yacht, he probably wouldn't be alone, would he? I mean, let's find out. Let's find out what caste he is first. He is 4. Gaki. Oh, what a vampire. Gaki. Now the Gaki they're the Oriental ones, aren't they? I think the Gaki are the these are ones. These are like Yakuza. You know, they take honor very seriously. If you offend them or if they feel like they've been insulted, they'll come after you. Oof. All powers from darkness of the soul, master of the shroud, and demon prowess. Oh crap! All powers. Right, I'm not going to go for an all-out fight on this guy. I can't. So I want to stop this guy from killing this other vampire. How can I do that? I mean, I've already tipped off the police regarding the barrels. So that's his bring danger to the town thing has kind of been thwarted, but he could still destroy this vampire. Maybe this vampire is kind of trying to stop him. Basically what I'm trying to do. So how can I stop the elder vampire from destroying him? Maybe I can set fire to the boat. Would that work? Because the thing is, I don't really want to have the authorities investigate the boat like the police or anything, really, because they'll figure out he might be a vampire and then we're screwed. Maybe I could leave some drugs. I haven't got. The thing is, I don't have any drugs. I think the easiest thing to do would probably be to set fire to the boat, maybe, or cut the moorings so that the boat drifts. Okay, well, let's check. I mean, in the harbour, how's the water moving? Is the water moving in such a way that if I cut the moorings, if I cut the ropes, whatever that hold the boat in place, if I cut those, will will this yacht actually collide with other boats and cause a problem that way? Is the water moving in that way that it will actually collide with other boats? Let's see what the Oracle tells us. An 8. Yes, it will. So if I cut the moorings, if I cut the ropes that's mooring the boat to the dock, it could actually collide with other boats, create all kinds of problems. The police, the harbour authorities would come to try and sort out the problem, and then the vampire could probably be too busy to deal with the vampire at this time. That could work. So I need to figure out, okay, so I need to get close to the boat to cut the ropes. Again, that would probably be another subterfuge roll. Dark fusion, I've got plenty of cover, I think, amongst all the boats, lots of shadows there. Cutting the rope without, okay, so I think I would need to, make 2 rolls. One to get to the boat where it's moored at the dock, and then another one to be able to cut the ropes without being seen. So I think, would that be 2 subterfuge rolls? I think it would, right. So, move to the yacht. And again, that's going to be mind subterfuge, because then it's more an intelligence thing in terms of how to move from shadow to shadow. It's not really a physical thing. And then cut the ropes. Again, that would be that. Right, now I've only got 2 points of will left. If I go down to 0 will, basically what happens when you get down to 0 will? Unmotivated, so basically I just give up and go home. Which means I've only got a maximum of 2 rerolls. Now I just need to cut the ropes. What do I do after that? Even if I'm unmotivated, I've got 2 rerolls. I think I get the advantage from dark fusion. Oh, hang on, could I? Yeah, animals aren't going to be able to do it, are they? Okay, so let's do this. Let's do this. So first of all, we're going to try to move to the yacht. So we have mind subterfuge. Right, so mind is 4. I don't have subterfuge, so I'm just getting a +4 to the roll. So I need a 6+, and I'm taking the highest. Oh no! Oh, come on. Reroll. Yes, okay. So we get to the boat, we get to the moorings. Now I need to cut it without anybody seeing me. So I failed the first one, I succeed the second one. Right. So the second part is to cut the ropes without anybody seeing me. Come on, I've got 1 reroll left, and I don't want to use it because if I lose it, then I'm going to be screwed. Right. Come on. Yes, we did it. We did it first time. Excellent. So we cut the ropes to the yacht where the elder vampire is kind of staying, plotting this dastardly scheme. And he's a gaki, so he's like an oriental style Yakuza vampire. So we cut the mooring, the boat moves slowly across the harbour and collides with a bunch of other yachts. Some small and kind of cheap, some expensive and worth a lot of money. Whatever is causing a hell of a lot of problems, a lot of ruckus. The police get called, the harbour authorities get called, and basically that kind of takes this guy out of the problem for the time being while he's dealing with all this damage and all this activity. And basically the other vampire, who I haven't met, I don't know, manages to kind of escape and kind of, I don't know, do whatever he's doing, whether he's reporting to the police, reporting to authorities, whether he's sabotaging things. I don't know. I didn't get to meet the guy or the vampire, but it's on its way. I've done my part, so this event is done. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Right, so we get an extra XP for that. So we're now at 4 XP. Sorry about the shake. And we have managed to thwart this important event where they were going to poison the water, the town's water. Excellent. But but this elder vampire is still around. I'm assuming, I don't think he's going to get arrested or anything, so he's still going to be around and he could be a problem later. So what I will do is I will get another vampire token and place it in that hex. In the meantime, so that was 3:30, okay, so 4:30, I'm going to go home. Go home. So that is donk, donk, go home to OC4. So that takes me an hour. So 05:30 finish. So that is the fourth night, is it? So 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so this is my fourth night. Bit more interesting, a bit of a longer episode, I do apologize, but this is how important events work. Like I say, you've got a sequence of things you need to do. And oh my god, my will does not look good. I've only got 1 will point left. Oh dear. So we finish this night. We get another experience point because you get 1 every night. So I've now got 5 experience points. I will recover 1 will point through resting. So I will have 2 will points for the next night. Now the next night I actually have to go hunting because my demon's going to demand food. So next night must hunt prey. Okay. All right, so an eventful night. All right, guys. Let me just quickly get a token for this other vampire. Right, so I've got a token for this new vampire. Come on, focus. There you go. So I'm taking this as to be a female, like a koinichi. What are they called? Koinichi, the female ninja, female vampire gaki. So this is going to be in this hex here with her yacht, which is probably highly damaged, and she's probably going to be looking at what the hell. I mean, it's not going to take a detective to figure out that the moorings were cut, so I could get in trouble later on if she figures out who did it. But night 4 is done. Still no combat, thank God. I mean, you may be wondering, you know, where's all the combat? Where's, you know, because it's normally a pretty big part of RPGs. Well, combat in this is actually fairly simple. You just do like a normal sort of skill check using body plus melee or ranged combat skill, if you've got it or not, and then a D10. The damage you do is your body plus power bonus plus whatever the weapon gives you. And then in retaliation, the enemy basically has a reaction that tells you what he does in return. So I mean, combat's not much different from the normal sort of skill checks that we're doing. So, but the thing is that I'm not really kitted out for combat. I really want to try and avoid combat as much as I can. So yeah, night 4 is done, and I will start preparing for night 5. I do hope you're enjoying these videos, guys. Like I say, I mean, it's been a long time since I've been doing RPGs, and I don't have much experience at all in terms of solo. So please excuse my, I don't know, if I'm lacking in any kind of, you know, creativity or sort of idea generation or things like that. I'm very new to the whole solo RPG sort of thing, so, and I'm very rusty at RPGs anyway, so I hope you'll forgive me for that. But I hope you're enjoying this. So guys, please take a moment to like and subscribe. Would really appreciate that. Ring the bell to get notifications of when I have new videos. And I will see you in the next video. So from Leslie Vincent, the Ghul Vampire, and myself, see you later.